And now it's time for a podcast with Keld Beyond. Keep dreaming, my friend.
Look at great Keld puppets.
Keep dreaming.
They're so beautiful. Look at them.
Do you have a favorite?
A favorite Keld puppet?
Yeah.
Oh dear. That one right there.
Oh.
The one flying off into the distance.
That one,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
It's that's Keld number 35. Keld
Yeah.
number 35. Welcome
Good choice.
to episode 14 of Keep Dreaming. These
Welcome.
beautiful voices you just heard are that of Aecert and danikaka, who are both returning guests to the show. And I'm very happy to have both of you here today. How are you guys doing? Answer
too bad.
simultaneously, please.
Good. Oh, good. Danny, what the hell?
Damn it.
I'm doing great. Oh, I forgot what simultaneously means for a second.
At the same time.
Yes, please talk over each other as much as possible. Like we want
try my best.
quantity of words, not quality. So just get as many words out as you can over the next couple hours, and this will be a great show for everyone. So if you're new to this, if you don't know this, or you haven't been here before, this is a podcast about Dreams, the video game and creation engine for PlayStation, and we talk to members of the community, and today. Oh, also, I'm your host. I'm Keld Bjones, and we're broadcasting live at twitch.tv/Keld Bjones, and it's Sunday, January 30th of the year 2022. And what we're talking about today with our guests is game engines outside of Dreams. I have two guests today who are both have experience working in engines outside of Dreams, and we're gonna get into that. Find out what they've been using, what it's all about, and But before we kind of get into the main, the main meat of the show, I wanted to ask danikaka to tell us his origin story. We heard Aecert's a little bit on an episode a few weeks back where we talked to Kataya and Lee's Lady, some prolific Dream streamers, but Danny appeared on the Impy Awards panel where we had a bunch of people, so we didn't get to get too personal. And Danny, are you ready to get personal?
I'm ready.
Okay, well we already covered what you're wearing. That was before the show, and I'm not going to tell you. If you want to find out, you just have to be here. You have to be here on Twitch before the show starts. If you want to know, for instance, whether our guests are wearing pants or not. But
Only one way to find out. Yeah.
but Danny, can you tell me? Just maybe start by telling me just how you found Dreams, how you came to get involved in the community here.
So before Dreams was released, I remember my cousin's son, he showed me a video about Dreams, and he showed me how like creation is working, and it looked pretty cool. I'm like, oh yeah, so this is like Little Big Planet. I'm like, yeah, it's like by the same company who made Little Big Planet, but it's much more powerful. I was very impressed when he showed me the video, but then I forgot about it for like a year, and then I realized that Dreams was already released. I was still playing FIFA back then, still like raging on online tournaments in FIFA.
Relatable.
So I needed an escape plan, and then I came across Dreams again, and I ordered it, and here we are.
Here we are. Wow.
Was FIFA kind of your main gaming jam for a long time?
Yeah. They have a mode called Ultimate Team, and it's like an online mode where you build your team, but you have to keep playing every week. They have weekend competitions, and it was just it was a black hole once you get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dreams was a much better experience. You get to meet a lot of people, you get to learn, you get to get back into game development, because that's something I haven't done in a while. Like after graduation, I got a job as a web developer. But
Nice.
game development has been my passion, and then Dream helped to go back to that.
Interesting.
I really appreciate it.
So as a web developer, what sort of software and languages do you use for that?
It's mostly C# and JavaScript, which is very good because that's what Unity uses as well. So a lot of that experience applies to Unity development too.
I didn't know that Unity used JavaScript. Look, I'm learning stuff already. How
Wait,
exciting!
I didn't know that. Does Unity use
You didn't know
JavaScript?
that?
Yeah, there's like a type of JavaScript. I don't use it. I know it's possible. I mainly use C#.
Same.
So
But
do
I
you,
know it's
do you
possible.
use C# in Unity then?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so you can use multiple. Like, is it a situation? By the way, I am very ignorant on these topics, so I'm going to ask a lot of basic questions. Is it a situation where you have to choose and commit to a language for a project, or do you jump back and forth?
I don't think you have to choose and commit. Like the way Unity works is that it's very modular. So you create a script and then attach it to an object to tell it what the object is doing.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure you can do both. Like you can attach some C# scripts to objects and JavaScript to objects. I haven't done it by myself. I'm just comfortable with C#, so I'm just sticking with that. But I can assume it will be possible.
Very cool. Very cool. So before Dreams, did you do any game development?
Yeah. So I went to school for computer science bachelor, and we had a lot of classes where we had to do group projects. For the senior design group project, we got together with a group, and we were all gamers on that on that group.
Yeah.
Like, what should we make? And someone said, let's make a game.
Dude, that's awesome. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
So we
great.
started working on an educational game in Unity. We were all pretty new to Unity. Like we basically just downloaded it and started looking up tutorials, and it was pretty easy to get the hang of it. So we made a educational game that's supposed to teach new programmers about the basics of programming, and it was a third-person game where like the theme is you play as someone who lost their arms, and now they have robot arms, and
Nice.
then they're supposed to use the robot arms to plug into portals around the map. It's like multi-level puzzle. So you plug in your robot arms into the portal, and then you see a terminal with code, and you're supposed to type in like solutions to the code. And when you type things in the portal, it changes things around the map. So if you have a
Very cool.
platform you need to raise, you can set like the number to 3, and then it raises the platform. And it's a multi-level, kind of like an escape room.
A multi-level marketing game. That's what you're describing, right? The whole thing
Yeah.
was a pyramid scheme.
You've been paying attention very well, Kel.
Yes.
That is exactly what he's doing. Yeah. No,
That's
really
very
cool. We have like the
cool.
same story. That's computer science into web dev. That's actually
Nice.
that's what I did too. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm not sure if I asked Aecert last time we talked, but I'm curious for both of you just to hear about your early gaming experiences. Just how did you come into gaming overall, and what has grabbed your interest? Why don't you go first, Aecert?
Gaming or game dev?
Gaming, just
Gaming.
as a player of games.
Um,
And forgive me if I
My
asked you this
parents-
last time.
you did not.
Okay,
Well, if you did, I don't remember. So yeah.
well, good. Then we're on even footing.
Yeah, exactly. My parents didn't really want to get me video games because they think I'd get addicted to it. They weren't wrong, but it kind of had the opposite effect because I was like, all right, the first time I'm able to get video games, I'm going to play it a lot. And I did. And I still do. But I guess the first they ended up getting me something when I was like 13 or so. They got me like a PSP. Does anyone know that? That was pretty cool. And then our first console was the Wii.
Wow.
The PS3 was a thing, but no, we got a Wii.
Now, how did you feel about getting a Wii?
It was
that
great at
time?
first, but then it was I'm sorry. I'm sorry for Wii hate, but it's you know.
I mean, as I understand it, I didn't own a Wii.
It's fun,
But
though.
it didn't have the games, right? I mean, that was the problem, right? Like,
I mean,
ultimately.
it had games. It had but you know, eventually I bought my own PS3, and then a PS4, then a PS5, and here we are.
So what was most likely to get you addicted when you started gaming?
What was most likely?
What was the game your parents should have been worried about?
Should have been worried about. Oh man, I don't know. Anything. I'm very competitive, so anything multiplayer that is like ranked, I can get obsessed over. Theoretically, but so I guess I don't know.
Well, Gibby, what multiplayer games have you been? Yeah, have you gone?
I like playing League currently, League of Legends. But back in the day, I don't know. But Call of Duty, I guess. That was pretty much the only multiplayer game. But like I like playing multiplayer ranked and just killing people. It wasn't even ranked. I was just trying to like get my stats. It was weird. I don't know, but that was fun.
For me, it was Halo. For me, it was lots of
Nice.
multiplayer Halo because I had an Xbox before. PS4 was my first PlayStation.
PS4.
Yeah. So
Nice.
did your parents ever sit down and play with you? Or did you ever see them pick up and play a game on their own after you?
Oh, never. No, absolutely not. But I'm just trying to remember if I've gotten them to play with me like ever. I think I got my dad to play Call of Duty Zombies a couple times, but that's about it. And then maybe I had Little Big Planet for the PS3, of course. Little Big Planet 2, rather. I might have gotten them to just like watch some of the games I made on that. Well, I use the term game loosely. I was, the stuff I made back then, looking back, it was interesting. But yeah, other than that, no. I know my dad played. What's the game? Not GameCube. Game Boy. He had a Game Boy at one point. So it's not like they're anti-video game.
The problem was they knew how good they are. That's why they wanted to keep them away from you.
Yeah.
Quick side note, FileMaker in the chat said that Unity doesn't use JavaScript anymore. Support for its Unity script variant has been removed in recent versions. So there's a tidbit.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification. I know it was used before, but since I haven't been using it, I wasn't up to date.
Real-time fact checking. Yeah, my parents were, I don't remember them having like major video game skepticism, which is funny because they were, there were other things that they were more afraid of, like Dungeons and Dragons, like that was going to get me into the occult and I'd be, sacrificing rabbits in the garage or something.
That's funny. There was, I did completely forget. I did play PC games a bit because they had a computer, of course. I really loved Spore. Was a fun game. That game was great. I like playing the Sims game, or not Sims, but Sims, sure, but tycoon games. SimCity, sure.
Sims as the genre.
Yes, I was referring to not SimCity, just Sims, like the house building game. But no, the Sim genre, like tycoon games. That's what I was trying to say. So like Roller Coaster Tycoon, that was really fun. Zoo Tycoon, if anyone remembers that. And then SimCity, yeah, I really like those games.
I played a lot of SimCity 2000.
2000?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not. I was 4.
I remember it went into the future. That's all I remember. And then like basically
Nice.
by the time you had peaked, you just had a grid covered in like these futuristic glass domes. That's all I remember. But
that's awesome.
For me, I was playing PC games when I was a kid. Like my dad got me a PC in like the year 2000. We didn't really have any of the like common consoles when I grew up in Syria. Like there was no Nintendos, there's no Game Boys. There's only like those. There? You'd have to know someone outside the country. Which one time my aunt visited from the USA and she brought me a Nintendo, and I was so excited, and I plugged it in, and because they have different
Oh
voltage,
no!
it fried the first time I plugged it in.
Oh
It was
no!
just traumatizing experience.
That's almost worse than not having it at all.
It really is.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
crushing.
what should you have done? What
Should
should
have
you have
gotten an
done?
adapter like
An
that changes the
adapter?
voltage.
Yeah.
The
Now,
voltage.
if you had happened
That's your
to,
aunt's fault.
do you happen to know whether the okay, now you said got me a Nintendo. What Nintendo are we talking about? Because when you said that, I pictured an 8-bit NES, but that cannot be what you mean.
I don't know which one it was, but it's the one with cartridges, like rectangle cartridges.
Maybe a Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Okay.
The white one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm wondering, like, in Syria, were the TVs, what format were the TVs? Because even if you had an adapter, like, there's 3 different formats for old television. There's NTSC, PAL, and CCAM. And so even if you had the adapter, you may have needed a television and an adapter for the television.
You didn't get that far.
That's good to know. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that far. That's true. I mean, I'm not
But-
sure which type it was being used.
But
They had these off-brand consoles. They're like similar to Atari, but they have like different names, like the Golden Tiger or like and they have like they were mostly 8-bit games. They were okay, but once I got the PC, then I got into the more real gaming
Right.
experience.
what
and I was
were
playing a lot of
Yeah.
FIFA at first. Like every year, I would buy the FIFA. I'm probably talking too much about FIFA. I've been clean for a year. I should stop.
You've been clean for a year.
Let it out. Let it out. It's good. It's good. It's therapeutic.
Yeah. But I played also a lot of Counter-Strike. We used to go to like internet cafes and play LAN games. Counter-Strike. That was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Back then.
That was a real thrill. I mean, I'm not sure how old you are, Danny, but yeah, before you could just get into a multiplayer shooter online with people.
Yeah.
We used to. I never did the internet cafe thing, but we would haul around televisions and Xboxes and get like 16-player Halo, and you had to make sure you had the guy who understood how to hook up like 3 different routers together to get everything connected.
How do you connect them all? Do you have like a hub?
The LAN.
You plug it all in?
Yeah, just through a Ethernet hub, and if you wanted to connect just 2 Xboxes together, they had a cable that would do that. There was like a crossover cable or something. So you could just connect 2 together, and you could play 4v4 on 2 Xboxes. But we would get 4 Xboxes, have them all spread out, 4 televisions. You got the crazy friend who brings over the 36-inch, CRT.
Yeah. Was this before the internet?
Let me give you an idea of the timeline for me.
Okay.
My family
was color?
My family was an early adopter to the internet because when I was about 13, my best friend moved out of state, and I started racking up long distance phone bills talking to him. And my parents were like, "Oh, well, if we get him this internet thing, then he can communicate, and it won't cost any more, won't cost any more money." So, so I was on the internet before I. I feel like it wasn't before, like we had an NES and a Super Nintendo at that point. So I was gaming before I was on the internet, but yeah, so that's like 1993 we're talking about.
Okay.
56K. I think I may have started with a 14.4 dial-up modem.
I don't know what that means, but no, I know what dial-up is, but I do not know what the number means. Is that?
It was
megabytes?
slow. It was
slow.
I
Sure.
don't
Okay.
know. I don't know exactly. Like it's 14,400. Like I don't know, maybe BPS. I'm not sure, but it was very slow. I mean, you were watching pictures load,
Yeah.
And if you were lucky, they would load progressively, so they would just get more detailed over time. Well, how did I get onto that?
From LAN games.
Oh yeah.
Counter-Strike.
Right. Like I was gonna say, just why not connect over the internet, but then I made
you
a
didn't
joke
really.
that there was
so
no internet.
PC gamers were definitely doing definitely doing multiplayer before the console world was. And
Right.
I never had a PC that really was up to snuff. Like my PCs were always, a little out of date. So I never got into playing I never played a shooter or anything, a first-person shooter on the PC.
So the console didn't have internet multiplayer.
Yeah, the first
Holy
console
shit.
I got
Wow, okay.
that had
But it had
that
LAN.
had network capabilities was the Sega Dreamcast, and that was a disk system. I think it was like late '90s that it came out.
Cool.
I had a keyboard specifically for it. I had a SegaNet keyboard. You'd plug into the
Nice.
Dreamcast. I played like one game of Unreal Tournament online against other people, and I just got so destroyed that I never wanted to play again because I didn't know how to play a first person shooter. And Unreal
Right.
Tournament, I think there's no campaign. Like it's just get in there and shoot people, and it's super fast paced, and it's like super intimidating. So instead I spent all my time playing Phantasy Star Online, which was kind of a looter where you could party up with like up to 4 people. You're typing to each other on your Sega keyboards.
Yeah. Cool.
And you would just grind out like the same zones over and over again, hoping that you'd get a little red box to drop instead of a blue box or whatever. And
Fine.
yeah, so that's like late '90s for me. And then Xbox kind of changed all that.
Right.
When Xbox launched Xbox Live, that was kind of what brought multiplayer gaming to console players in a bigger way. So,
Good times.
yeah. So,
Before I was born. Yeah.
tell me, why don't we get into a little bit of talking about these other engines? And what you guys are doing in them. So I know you both obviously from the Dreams community. And I didn't know, Danny, that you had a programming background. It makes sense to me now, like, seeing like the things you've created, like Binary Bash and other stuff like that. But yeah, can you tell me what your current project is that you're working on in Unity?
Yeah. So my current project is a game called 9 Equals. It's a game that I already made in Dreams. Like I had the idea of it to create it in Dreams first, but as I saw like how like scalable it is and how it could be a good mobile game, I saw a lot of people were getting excited about it, and I thought it would be a good experience to try to remake it in Unity to make it more available to people. So it's a game where you have a grid, and you're supposed to place in numbers and operators like 5 plus 2 equals 7. And then you have a queue of numbers and operators that you're going to be getting. And it's kind of like the longer you last while playing the game, the more points you get. Oh, there you go. Thanks.
Pulling it up on the screen right now.
Yeah, that helps.
How many equals are there?
9 equals.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense, dude. I didn't even get it at first. Like,
And what was the name of the game, Danny?
yeah,
9 equals.
no, it's cool.
Yeah.
Did you rename it, or didn't you rename it, or
Yeah,
or
I
is
did
that the new
rename it.
name?
The original name was Matrix.
Okay, yeah, this is the new name.
I remember that.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you
they're
said
both
you found
good names.
someone else had a game called Mathrix.
Yeah, when I looked up on Android, I saw Matrix pulled up 3 different results, and I didn't know if like any of them had a trademark on it, or I mean, it's even going to be harder to find if there's other matrices.
Yep.
But 9 equals is unique. So that's why I did.
Yeah, you want yours
the
to appear at
rebranding.
the top when they type in the actual name of the game.
Yeah, and I actually also like purchased the domain 9equals.com.
Nice.
Ooh.
And whenever I'm making progress on the Unity version, I'm pushing it to that web version. So, Kel, if you want to, are you able to pull up
There's
the
a web
Oh, you can
version.
play it on the web, huh?
on the web? Yes.
Wow. Let me see if
If
I
you're
can
able to
Oh.
pull
that
up, it would be cool to see the comparison between the Dreams version and the web version.
Oh, it's probably 9 spelled out. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's 9 spelled out and equals spelled out.
Yeah. I put the number.
Let's see.
Yo, that's awesome. So you just push your Unity version onto the web. That's really cool.
It's not High Score
Yeah, that's-
Wars. Ignore that.
Yeah. The one I'm still need to do more work on the UI part. A lot of things that Dreams like help you with it are things like worrying about different screen sizes, especially for mobile development. Like how would the UI be different?
Yeah,
So
that's a huge. Yep. You gotta make
yeah,
it work for everything, basically. Tablets, phones, web pages.
yeah.
Okay, I'm just playing it, dude. It's way too slow. I want to be able to spam. All right, like
Oh,
I'm waiting for the damn animation to like go in.
it's because I'm using wireless transmitters and there's a delay. I'm just
Wireless
kidding.
transmitters. Wait a second, I'm on the web version.
say.
What have you done?
No, I'm joking. Yeah, it's a good point. Spamming does cause problems right now. That's something I need to.
I mean, obviously add a
work on.
cooldown, but I want it to be faster than it seems like a second.
No,
Actually,
but
like an entire second.
the thing is, why would you want to spam though? Like the
To
whole
go as
game is
fast as
about planning.
possible, not mindlessly spam, but like because you can see ahead 3 numbers, right? So like, what if you?
Oh, I
like,
see.
You
I
have
see.
your
If
plan,
you already
bam,
have
bam,
those.
bam. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, I
one
literally have
scenario
only
where
played
it
it for
helps.
5 seconds, so.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it
I
looks
can
great,
look
dude.
into that.
I like the
Thank you.
sound effect.
The sound effects are. I got lucky with finding them on the Unity store. Like there was a free
Nice,
sound effect
nice.
package, and
Dude,
I'm
I would
gonna be
just rip
using
them
them.
right from Dreams. I don't know. Just use that beta application thing and just
Oh,
they'll give you the go ahead and just take them from Dreams.
I use that for the music, like the music in the
Nice. Yeah,
game
there you
on
go.
the web version. Yeah, it's made by Small Human, which are great soundtracks. And I reached out to him first, and he was okay with using them. Then I filled out the beta application. They haven't finished reviewing it yet, but I got
Oh,
like
really? Oh man.
a
Nice.
initial okay. Like they looked at it and they saw
Yeah.
like they're probably fine. They only mentioned that um, if there are any sounds in those songs that are not Small Humans and not Media Molecules, then I'd
Yeah,
either
that's
have to reach out to those owners or like figure out where they came from. But what I
you gotta
did
be
is,
careful.
yeah, for
I'm
some
sorry,
of
did
those
you say if
songs
there's
when
any sounds that aren't
yeah,
MM?
Anything, yeah.
instruments.
Any instrument. Yeah, right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was curious about that. Like you actually do need some consent from the creators whose things you're using? Is that
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't aware. That's very interesting.
I mean, in case like someone after I published it, someone said, "Hey, this was my sound. So my sound, I uploaded it to Dreams. Why is it in your Unity game?" You know?
Yeah.
So it's good to like protect your own, but yeah, what I did is whenever I found those sounds that are not Media Molecules, I would just replace them with different instruments, just to be safe. Even though they told me it was okay, probably
Yeah.
instead of reaching out to the creators, I'm just replacing the
Right.
instrument.
Yeah, I mean, if depending on the song, that might be a lot of people to reach out to. If
Yeah.
every person who created a sound or an instrument that was used in the song, that list can get. We've all looked at Dreams credits and seen 300 names on like something that looks pretty simple.
Yeah.
So Aecert has also used the beta evaluation. Is that what it's called? Beta evaluation program?
It is. Yeah. I'm not sure if they changed the name, but the beta app. Just call it the beta app. I don't know.
And you used it again for a project outside of Dreams. Was that for Laser Bounce?
It was. It was. So I wanted to use dream sounds in Laser Bounce because I did not. Well, I to my credit, I did try to use like I tried to find sounds from like freesounds.org and whatever, but I don't know, they didn't sound great. So I was like, why? I made the game in Dreams. People have complimented the sound design in it. Like, why not just take those sounds and put them in my game? I was going to just do that, and then I think it was Jellyfish actually who was like, that's probably not a good idea. So I was like, all right, and other people, like I know Yovork was also, I don't know, there were some concerned community members. So I filled out the application form because it felt to me like, I know it was like, this is not for games, but it's not for Dreams games. This is not a Dreams game. So I figured it was like exactly what it was for, right? Taking Dream stuff and using it outside of Dreams. So I did it and it was accepted. So I used every sound from Laser Bounce in my Laser Bounce app. And yeah.
Were those sounds?
Did you have? Did you have to specifically tell them which sounds,
No.
like give them a link to each sound?
So
Oh.
every sound I used was Media Molecules.
Okay.
And I did say that. So that's probably why I didn't. If there were sounds that weren't Media Molecules, I probably would have individually listed them. But since they were all Media Molecules, then I just said that.
I see.
And then the music was not from Dreams. I just found some pretty chill, background music.
If you want to use more sounds from a different Dreams games that are also Media Molecule sounds, do you have to submit a different form, or is it like already that it's accepted?
I would submit a different form because it would be a different project. But yeah,
I see.
Those sounds are really high quality.
Yeah, they're great. They're great, and they're all from So
yeah, they're great, and I mean, a lot of them have nice things that you don't always find with user created sounds, like multiple versions of a sound, so that it'll play. It can randomly go through them and doesn't get repetitive and things. They are.
So I actually implemented that in Godot. I implemented like you put in multiple sounds, and then I basically like call a function, and it returns a random one. So that was cool, but yeah, and another cool thing, like you can edit the sounds in Dreams, so you can change the sounds up. I don't want to get into that because I am the last person you want to talk to for sound editing. But it's like you don't need to use Audacity or anything. You just do it in Dreams. So it's nice. Yeah, I'm using Dreams as like an actual game development tool. So.
Still mind-blowing to me that's all happening in real time too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's all real time.
All that sound editing, like if you were making something I don't program, I've never used Unity. Like I've just dipped my toes a few times into things that aren't Dreams. But if you were making sounds for something outside of Dreams, you would do all your processing and get a finished product and then stick that in the game and you're done. But yeah, Dreams, when you make those tweaks are dynamic. They're
right.
You can change the values on them like throughout, depending on what's happening in the game.
Do it in game, yeah, yep.
I mean, I know things like that are possible, of course, in other game engines, but in Dreams, like it just being the default makes it the workflow very, very flexible.
Yeah. One thing I did notice in Unity is for one of the sound effects, I wanted to make it go with a higher pitch, and that would speed it up, like in Unity.
That would speed it up, nice.
So yeah. I was looking for that ignore frame rate. What was that option in Dreams? And it wasn't there. Like, oh, I missed Dreams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever figure that out?
You had to edit the original sound. Like,
really?
Yeah, it wasn't possible.
Huh. I mean, that is a function that...
I guess that makes sense. I don't know.
That is a function that you haven't necessarily expected in... Yeah, playing with the speed and pitch of a sound in a fluid way like that is... I'm almost surprised that you get it in Dreams, but... Yeah.
It does distort it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Just sure make the noises myself with a microphone. Yeah. Oh my God.
So...
There's a solution.
Let me see. I want to talk more about your projects, Danny. But Aecert, maybe you could walk us through. Do you have anything currently that you're actively working on outside of Dreams development?
In Godot, no. I am fortunately I have finished Laser Bounce. I don't see myself working on that anymore. My next one, I am totally open to making Claustrofactory in Godot, and I know I could. I don't want to unless the reception will be. I don't know. Like, I know people will like it, but like, I don't know. Maybe if it wins an Impy, we'll see. If it gets popular enough, I'll spend the time to make it outside of Dreams. But I don't know. I don't have any current projects yet, but I'm 100% plan on doing something.
Anything you've thought about? Anything bouncing around your head other than Claustrofactory?
So. Definitely Claustrofactory is a consideration. My current-ish project, I'm working on a new type of tower defense game. I don't know if you've seen me. I've only done like 4-ish streams on it, but
I've lurked just a little bit on one.
Yeah, just a little.
And I'm intrigued by this concept.
It's pretty cool and it's unique, and I think it would do very well on Steam, in my opinion. It's like a tower defense game where as you play, you it's like, have you played Loop Hero?
No.
You haven't played Loop Hero. Oh no. All right, that's fine.
A game called Loop Hero plays
Loop
into this.
Hero. It was very popular. Maybe maybe a year ago, I think.
Is this a Dreams game or
Maybe 2 years ago?
an outside
Oh
Dreams
shit. This is not a Dreams game. No. It's made by Devolver Digital, I think, or published. Well, it doesn't matter. So tower defense game where as you play, you build out the map. So you are actually building your path, and you basically it's like a roguelike tower defense. I don't want to get too much into it because I'm still trying to figure out what it is. But anyway, I think this would be really cool to make for Steam, for outside of Dreams. I think it would do pretty well. But yeah, well, hey, we'll see. I want to prototype it in Dreams first, get a minimal viable product, MVP, and see how the reception is. But
MVP.
I like
That's
that
a
workflow.
misleading acronym.
Oh, well, yeah, MVP. I like the workflow though, making it in Dreams first and then outside of Dreams. It's so nice having like an entire game to just copy. Like it's really nice. It helps a lot, actually.
I mean, I would imagine you're splitting apart those jobs. Suddenly you're not game designer, right? I mean, like
you've
part's
already done that. Right.
You're just translating,
You're
right?
just coding. Yeah, you're just programming it. Yep.
So can you tell us about Laser Bounce and what that experience has been like?
Developing it or?
Yeah, well, I guess, can you just give us the from the start of that game and then how you came to decide to create a version outside Dreams?
Sure. Yeah. So it was one of my first Dreams games. Not my first, but one of the first. And I did, like, when I was designing it, not developing, designing it, I did have a pretty good feeling that this would make a really good mobile game. But I finished it on Dreams. I made all the mechanics. I made some levels. It went pretty well, and then I didn't immediately start making it outside of Dreams. But then I think it was like a year later. I don't know. I was just like, all right, I want to make a real game now. And then I was like, hey, Laser Bounce. I did want to make that outside of Dreams, and I thought about it and was like, yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. And so I started. I worked on it for a couple months. I was able to bang out the mechanics in like a week, like every mechanic, the laser bouncing, the rotating, the drag and dropping, the gates, the doors, stuff like that. Dreams, it took about a month and a half. And it was easier to program. It was significantly easier to program.
Can I take just a moment to say thank you for the inverted camera? Appreciate it.
Of course. And thank you, Pixel Gorilla, for making this menu. By the way, it's beautiful.
Very clean, very slick. I like that.
Pixel Gorilla made the menu for 9 equals too.
Did he?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like he's our
awesome.
go-to menu guy.
That's awesome.
A UI wizard.
He is.
Yeah.
Boom.
But yeah, there's Laser Bounce.
There's the laser. It bounced.
It bounced. There you
as
go.
advertised.
Yep. But yeah, so mechanics took like a week, maybe a week and a half. And then polishing. Oh my Lord. I didn't even finish it. Like those 2 months. Yeah, I made the mechanics. I made like the base app, and then I just like stopped for another 6 months. I just stopped. Was
it frustrating or?
It was just overwhelming because I was like, oh my God, there's still so much to do to like actually finish this. So and then I just started doing more Dream stuff and just didn't do that. And then I think recently, when did I finish? I don't even know, but like 6 or so months after I buckled down and actually finished it. It took another like month and a half. And this isn't like 8 hours a day kind of thing, but like working on it a couple hours every day, maybe not every day, but for the most part. Like I added ads. I added a way to get rid of the ads by doing an in-app purchase. I I added like customization. I added settings. I polish everything. I bug fix everything. It's a lot more. Oh my god, like, but it's.
How much time would you say? Now this is how many? Just give me an estimate. How much more time did it take to create it in Godot versus Dreams?
So again, like the mechanics took a week and a half. The actual game, without polishing and without making all the new levels, it took about a week and a half. And then like polishing it and actually finishing it. So are you asking how much longer did it take from Godot than in Dreams? Probably like 2 times as long.
And that's, I mean, that's what it's also, it's not an even comparison because the game was already designed in Dreams, right?
That's true. That is very true.
Now, I also was curious, did you know Godot before you started working on this? So you had...
I did know it, but I still learned a lot. There was a lot I did not know, like adding ads or in-app purchasing. Actually, the in-app purchase thing, that was frustrating. But because Godot is like relatively new, there's not a ton of tutorials on it. There's more every day, but like Unity, I mean, Danny can speak to this, I'm sure, but it is probably very easy to add in-app purchases and ads. I know for a fact there's a lot of tutorials on that. But
so why did you choose Godot?
That's a good question.
For your project?
I really like how you make stuff. How can I word this? I like the workflow. I like it's a node system, not a Dreams node. The whole thing is like it's like a node tree. I'm saying this and I know no one knows what I'm saying except probably Danny. There's how can I explain this? Okay, let me just say I really like the workflow. It makes sense to me, and I like the idea of it being completely free, and like there's no, if you make over $1 million, you have to start paying a percentage or something, or you have to, I don't know, like Danny can speak to the catches of Unity, how it's not like actually free, but I mean, for most people it is.
Is Godot open source?
It's open. Yes. It's open source. Yep. I think under like the MIT license or something. But so there's that, and it's. I was going to say something else. It's very lightweight. It's very lightweight. You basically just download it. You click it. It's open in like 2 seconds. I know Unreal Engine takes a while to load, but. And those 3 things are the main reason I really like it. The huge downside is it's relatively new. There's not like an endless amount of tutorials.
Yeah.
That Unity and Unreal have. But
I mean, I've been hearing Unity and Unreal and seeing them on the the splash pages for games for so long. I mean, I don't even know how long. They just feel like they're part of the ecosystem. They're embedded.
Mm-hmm. And they have massive communities. Godot's community is getting big. It's getting larger, and it's just, I honestly, it's getting to the point where I can actually recommend someone that is completely new to go into Godot. But before, like, I just can't because there's not enough support. The docs are pretty good. And when I say when I say the docs, they're every like language and every game engine and stuff have a website with all the information that if you have a question, you can read about it.
Yeah. Like for instance, for Dreams, you go to tapgiles.com and there's.
yeah. Actually, it's a pretty good analogy, but.
So have you used other engines?
So I've dabbled in Unity. I don't know, Tapgiles.
Gabble.
I don't know. I've dabbled in Unity in high school, I think, or maybe like a couple early years in college.
In high school, so like what, 2-3 years ago?
Maybe not. Actually, maybe it was high school. 2-3 years ago. 5 or so years ago. Maybe 6 or so years ago. I went through tutorials. I tried. I don't know. I didn't click. Not even that. I just never tried to make my own game in it. It was kind of overwhelming. I don't know. I just never tried, I guess. I never actually tried.
I mean, if you're coming into game development new without having experience just developing a game anywhere, it is really nice that Dreams feels like it leaves you more room to think about that stuff. Because even though we've all spent hours and hours, banging our head against the wall trying to fix some Dreams problem over and like many times, still you feel like you've got a lot of bandwidth to think about the design.
You're not focused on trying to fix or figure out the engine. You're focused on like making the game, right?
Yeah, having a game project to work on really helps getting started in Unity. And if someone doesn't have a game idea, it would really help to start with something simple like make Pong in Unity or make Snake. So once you figure out this small,
make an existing game, and that's what you're doing. That's what I did. Make an existing game. It just happened to be the existing game was our game.
In Dreams, build a platformer. In Unity, build Pong.
Pong.
Like sometimes build a platformer doesn't sound like a very sexy suggestion, but it's definitely sexier than go remake Pong.
Yeah.
You want to get started? Go remake the first video game ever created.
Ever created. Well, if you can't do that, I don't really know what to tell you, honestly.
That's how you'd know if this is for you or not.
Intratak out in the chat says, Unity cringe, Unreal equals king.
So
Unity
Danny
is
could
too
talk about
easy
that.
for Intra.
It's not necessarily that. Unity, it attracts a lot of beginner devs, and it kind of, I don't know if it's still, but it kind of has the rap that it's only used for that, which is definitely not the case at all. In fact, a lot of games you don't even know that it's made in Unity.
I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I know I've played like
two off the top of my head.
Yeah.
RimWorld. I don't know if you've heard of that, but I'm sure someone has. And Kerbal Space Program, I believe, is made in Unity. And there's a ton more, but those are the two that I know for a fact, unless I'm wrong. But
so what led you, Danny, to pick Unity to build your project?
It's mainly because when we started with that school project, the group project, we were looking at game engines, and like Unity has the most resources. Like if we wanted to try to look up something, and we would find a ton of answers because it's the most common one. And you would have options too. Like you look up a problem and there's like 4 or 5 different solutions.
Someone has had that problem.
So when
3 people.
When someone's saying that it's too easy, or I mean, would it be fair to compare it to Dreams in that way? Like, does some of the ease of use create some limitations in Unity that you might not have in an engine like Unreal or something?
I have not had any experience with Unreal, so I can't compare it. But as comparison to Unity, if you do have some programming experience like C#, it would be easy to get the hang of placing things in the scene. Like that would be similar. You have a nice XYZ.
Sorry, Danny.
Ignore me, please.
You're getting upstaged here. There's a big orange kitty on Acert's camera, and that's got all my attention now.
I am so sorry.
Please continue, Danny.
Please continue. You said XYZ something?
Yeah, you have a nice control over the word space in the scene. Like you click on an object and you see where is it in the X position, in the Y position, and in the Z position. So if you want to move it up, then you increase the Y. If you want to move it down, you can also drag it too. But I feel like having that more control over the exact position of the object might be very helpful, as opposed to Dreams. Like you can enable grid mode, but you can only get a certain level of accuracy.
That makes a lot of sense.
But there are similarities, definitely. Like just looking at a scene like from the camera view, you can see how that's similar to Dreams. Attaching gadgets would be equivalent to attaching a C# script, basically.
Yep. So there is like a camera view where you can kind of move things and manipulate things like from the player's perspective. I kind of expected that didn't even exist. I'm just
Oh,
having
really?
no experience in that.
There are
Yeah, you
cameras,
can.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
from, either
guess,
from
yeah.
the player perspective or from like a outside world. You have control over how to move the camera while you're placing objects. But the one thing that Dreams is definitely way easier for is just finding assets to
Yeah, I
use.
was sculpting, right? Yeah, finding asset. Yeah, yeah.
Sculpting,
It's so much
finding
easier.
assets. I'm not much of a designer, so like I can't sculpt, and that's why Dreams is way
Relatable.
better for me. You can
Do
just
you,
find
do
the bear
you
and find the
use Blender,
fisherman.
or you just find
No,
everything?
I
No.
just find everything. Yeah, I
Did
should
you
learn,
make
but
your game right? Did you make the UI, like the buttons and the numbers and stuff? I mean,
no, I just found buttons and
what? You didn't even
yeah,
make that? Come on.
yeah,
I get like the
I
Hey, fair enough. All right, that's fair.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
even a
funny.
UI designer, so
So
that has been the most challenging part.
as we know, when you're building in Dreams, you can at any point just go out and search for, you know, I need a rock, I need a tree, I need an orange kitty cat. I mean, you could search just about anything and pull up something that you can drop right in and it's ready to go. What is the process like now? Where do you go? Does Unity have its own marketplace for visuals? Is that where you're headed?
Yeah, there's a Unity asset store, and you can search for things. But I feel like most of the things you would find you have to pay for them. There are some free assets,
The
but
good things, yeah.
yeah, the good things you have to pay for them. And there are some generic assets like pixel art package, for example, or the RPG game.
Yep.
So like based on what type of games you're making, you can find something to start with. But at the same time, if you are going to use those packages, then your game is not going to be unique because everyone who's making a Unity game is probably using the same
Yep.
asset.
Yeah.
It's hard to use those without making your game look like an asset flip kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
So I feel like it would help to know a
you
graphics
should learn
designer
Blender.
to work
Dude,
with.
if I can do Blender, you should be able to.
I mean,
Anyone can.
I could spend the time trying to learn Blender, but I feel like things will not look good even if I learn how to do it.
Well,
yeah.
that's it. It all depends. Like I like low poly because I think it's easier to make it look good in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I enjoy poking fun at your art, Aecert, but I kind of like it. It has a charm to it, and it gets the job done.
Thank
And
you.
you don't. I mean, you're making things low poly and very very basic, but it never feels like you like an asset flip, right? Like I mean, it feels like it's
belongs.
built for the game. Yeah.
Right. My most recent art, it would be the Cluster Factory, all the machines and stuff. I think they turned out pretty well. I don't know, but
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried learning Maya
Maya,
during school. Yeah.
it's paid though. Oh no.
Was there?
Blender.
I don't
Is
know
there
if there was a free version.
Dude, just learn Blender. Trust me.
Yeah.
Blender is exactly what you want.
It was for
I
a
want to
class.
see make your buttons in 3D. I want to see your game be 3D. Come on.
Yeah.
It would look so cool. You can make it like a calculator or something. Well, isn't that what you did in Dreams? That's what you did in Dreams. You could do that in Unity.
That's what Pixel Gorilla did in
Oh my
god. But yeah, I mean, I could play around with that. For Maya, we had another game development class. We learned the engine called Ogre 3D.
Ogre 3D.
Yeah, it was like, why are we learning this? I don't know if anybody uses Ogre 3D. But we made a ninja game where you're just running away from enemies. It was a 3D game. And I used Maya to just make walls and then like to surround our map with castle and platforms. And it was pretty basic. That was my contribution during the project. It was my first year. It was good to know what's out there.
We're hearing other games made in Unity called out in the chat. Tarkov made in Unity. Fall Guys.
Oh, Fall Guys. Yep. Fall
Genshin
Guys.
Impact. I mean, those are two pretty pretty well-known games at this point.
Genshin looks really good. I wouldn't think it was Unity.
Aecert did all the art in Claustra Factory. Aecert, you didn't do that character
It's
in
funny
the
because
thumbnail, did you?
Duckonomics did the majority of the work, and he's
Okay.
the one who said that. I made the machines. He did pretty much everything else except the boss character, which was done by Piececraft. But
There's a
yeah,
boss?
not boss fight, but the boss, like your
The
boss,
boss
like
character.
yeah, the boss character. Yeah,
Gotcha.
you were not the first one to to misinterpret that.
Oh,
But
beautiful. So Danny, then where did I love Bernard? Bernard is Bernard the monkey from Binary Bash. Who made Bernard? Is that some a monkey you found out in the Dreamiverse?
No, actually, Payoff Wizard made that monkey.
Oh,
Nice.
Payoff Wizard
I
in the
was-
chat.
Nice.
yeah, he is.
Shout
Or
out
they
Payoff
are.
Wizard.
Was it made custom for you, or was it existing?
It was made custom for Binary Bash. At least I believe, because I don't see the asset anywhere in the Dreamiverse. But I was making Binary Bash on stream, but just the basic like logic of it. I just had ugly blocks and the platforming puppet.
Nice.
And then Payoff Wizard really liked the concept, and he said, "Do you want help, like on the design part?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, that's what I need."
That's awesome.
I was looking at animals first, like what would work with this kind of game. Let's look for a chicken, or let's look for. I was just trying to brainstorm ideas, and then we landed on monkey. Well, I found a monkey in the Dreamiverse, but it wasn't as cool as Bernard. But when Payoff Wizard was added as a collaborator, the next day I see this whole beach scene.
So he not just the monkey. He did like they did
He
like
did
all
that-
this.
the beach,
Dude,
like
that's
the
awesome.
level design.
It looks. I mean, hey,
It was just a surprise.
MP worthy, right? That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I
And
saw the monkey.
Payoff Wizard is saying, yeah, and he's completely right. You don't have to go to like the Unity asset store or anything. You can get 3D assets like anywhere. I know there's websites that have like a ton of just free ones, but I know you're saying like everyone has the free ones, but like I don't know. There's a lot out there. But
Yeah.
I was good at
And
this
I've just been
at
using
one point,
Bernard and-
Danny.
at one point, yeah.
Oops. Yeah, I used to be good at Binary Bash. Not
I put it on
happening
the
right now.
side.
Not
I put it on the side until they released the real-time gadget, because Joe Ryan, basically.
Please let's get into it. You know what? I'm getting salty all over again now. I was hustling. I was hustling.
There's a clip.
on this scoreboard. Oh, I wish I could play that clip on the podcast.
There's a clip somewhere of watching Joe Ryan play Binary Bash on stream, and then he pauses the game and he's like, "Huh," and then he continues, and then he pauses, and then he continues, and then it was basically, "Oh, that's how you
that's
got the
really
hash mark."
smart.
And
Wait a
he
second.
was accidentally playing the way that he plays off stream.
Yeah.
He slipped because he was insisting. He was insisting that he did not pause the game.
Wait, but like, why? Okay, like honestly, why is that an issue? That's brilliant.
So basically, you see the number on the screen, and then you're supposed to make
Yeah.
that number in binary. So let's say
no,
you
no,
see
I played it. I played it a lot. I'm on the high school. I mean,
it is
I don't
an
know.
it is an effective strategy.
I'm
It
just saying
saves
why. That's a great
Save-
idea. like,
Acert's going to
saves
be
you
at
the
the top of
thinking
his
time.
scoreboard tomorrow.
no, I don't care enough. But that's wow. I
yeah.
just don't know
Look,
why I
it-
was thinking that. I would have done that.
Yeah, look, I mean,
I guess it never occurred to me. Yeah,
It made me. It made
never
me a
occurred to me
little unhappy. A little unhappy. Look, it's not a. He didn't cheat. He just
It's funny that you
showed.
can't-
He just displayed a lack of honor. We'll say.
It's not cheating.
Acer's
Honor?
not
What?
having this.
Ingenuity. He's a pioneer. No, it literally just never occurred to me to just
Look,
pause and
it
think about
occurred to me.
It did-
but,
it actually
I,
didn't.
I just wanted to play it, with
Yeah.
with my integrity intact.
Yeah, integrity.
That's
Right. No, wow.
Look,
I
you
heard
can't
Media
you can't
Molecule.
blame people are going to abuse the mechanics.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what scoreboard's for. So
Yeah.
well, but what Danny is saying. So if it wasn't clear, what we're saying is,
need
you
to
can
sense
see
how
what
much time
number
has passed.
is
Yeah.
going to. So 94. So I can just pause and then think about it for a moment. Okay, I know. Now I know it. I'm going to still get it wrong. Probably. But what was it?
18,
There we go.
Or 16. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Nice.
But yeah. So if you pause, then the timer doesn't run. But there is a real time gadget
In the works.
Yeah, in the works that would allow you to let the timer continue to run even when the player has the game paused or if the player exits
And
the
if
game.
people are curious, that's not actually what would happen. You would record the current time, right? And then once you'd unpause, you would get the new current time and just
Compare
subtract,
it.
I guess.
So you would
Or
have
maybe-
to you'd have to do a little
I
do a
guess you'd
little
have to like
math on it.
constantly, because like there's no way to sense pausing, right? So I guess every frame
now.
you compare the real time to the previous time, and if that time difference is too large
Yeah.
or something, I don't even. That no, you'd
could-
be able to do it. You something like that.
Yeah, you could save 2 different timers, and if one of them is different than the other, then that means they pause. And this way, I could either subtract from the time to punish them, or I can generate a new number to find. So
You
it
just update
would
the
be-
timer, right? Yeah, you could. I mean, you could just completely generate a new number. That's not a bad idea.
Can we also
funny.
add a function that shames the player at the same time?
No
Like,
cheating.
Yeah.
I could.
Say, shame on you, Joe Ryan. Just call out Joe.
Or just like reset the score. Honestly, we just need to be able to sense if the player pauses. And that's such a basic thing that we're not able to do in Dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know, but whatever.
I mean, as long
There's a
as
lot
you're
of-
on the subject, I'm
Yeah.
curious to know if there's other things you want to see in the Dreams engine. Like, what would be the top of your list? As as a person who has experience working outside of Dreams, like what do you miss the most? What would be the most useful thing to you?
Strings.
Strings. I think, yeah.
I don't want to raise. We already have it doesn't really make sense with the Dreams engine. We have exclusive gates. Exclusive gate. Do you know how you can cycle through exclusive gates using Q? Kel, I don't know if, or Danny, do you guys know what that means?
Not
I
sure.
know what it means, but I haven't. tried it.
Okay. So, Kel, do you know exclusive gates at all? Mm-hmm. Okay.
little bit.
So, do you know how like one can only be active?
Yeah.
And okay, so with setting them to queue, you can cycle through them one after the other in order, right? But you can only go one way. If there was like a backwards queue that allowed you to go backwards, cycling backwards as well, that would be all we need for arrays. Strings are
before you
what
move
is
on
a
to
string?
strings, what do you mean by arrays? I'm not sure what that means.
Array. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. An array is a
an
group
array.
of objects.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I heard
so-
rays or something.
Arrays. Yes. Sorry. A group of objects you can cycle through, basically.
Okay.
We can only go one way though, so going backwards would be really, really nice. But strings. So what is a string? It's like a word. It's an array of letters actually, but it's words, right? And in Dreams, we have to hard code them. What does that mean? You type it in and it can't change. In game engines, they're dynamic. You can change them. You can manipulate them. You can do whatever you want. In Dreams, you hard code them, and it is every programming language, every game engine has strings, and Dreams does not. And it is for most, I don't know, most games. For a lot of games, it doesn't matter. It does not matter because we have numbers that we can change dynamically. So, but for like RPGs or maybe strategy games or it's so.
If you want to do, I mean, the
important.
most basic example probably is just record a player's name.
Sure.
Allow a player to record their own name
And
then
change-
recall
yeah.
that and bring it back in whatever context you need.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to.
Has that been on?
It's brutal.
Has that been on the Trello for Dreams?
I don't believe it's going to come to Dreams because of a data issue or something. No, to answer your question.
Yeah.
And it's
No talks about that coming.
so yeah. And like I don't like suggesting things that I don't see a solution for. I believe for them to implement it, they would need to have like a separate like a different type of wire, which I know is asking a lot, but because the current wire, it just passes through numbers, right?
Yeah.
And this would be letters, and it's just completely different. So I would suggest, and I've never seen the code or anything, so this could make absolutely no sense, but like just like a different wire type for letters.
I mean, we've got fat wires that carry different information. I know it's all numbers, but can we just add a letter wire into that? Oh.
I mean, a fat wire that could hold. Well, yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think so. I don't think we could just add letters. It would make sense. Yeah, maybe we could but I'm pretty sure it's like too much data flowing through it or something. So that's why I'm saying just a different wire type altogether. I think, but anyway, just some way to like even just allowing us to keyframe the strings, like the text boxes, which we can't do right now, would. I mean, it would still be kind of like hard coding, but at least it would be neater. There'd be one text box, and we could keyframe the text. Because, like, have you ever had a situation where, like, you've had 10 text boxes that are all the same format but different text,
right?
Or 10 or 100, or I have 100 for one. You would just have one text box, and you'd keyframe the text. That would at least solve half of the issue.
Making the text in a text box keyframeable, I think
that would solve. I would stop complaining. Well, that's not true. I would still complain, but it would solve half the issue, which is the like formatting kind.
I predict a 3% reduction in complaints by Aecert if we can make that happen.
There would be less complaining. There would be. I can guarantee that. But
what about you, Danny? Is there anything that sticks out to you that that you'd really love to see happen in Dreams?
I mean, the one that everyone is talking about, it's not for a creator, but multiplayer. Multiplayer. Like that's the one thing that's gonna like add a whole new dimension. As far as creation, the things that I'm thinking about are more complex than what Acer is bringing up. Like being able to make API calls, for example,
Acer
and get data.
He's pretty
from
simple.
outside of you.
Right,
like
sorry.
I want to get a list of countries, for example, from somewhere, rather than having to type in everything manually.
in Dreams,
that's why I'm saying.
How would that list of countries be like? What would you do with that? We don't even have strings. What would you do with the list of countries?
We just take all of Wikipedia and plug it into Dreams. And then you just take out the Wikipedia gadget, and you find the little node for all the countries, and then you hook.
Yeah, or like being able to make something like a trivia game. But you would have to hard code everything,
right?
All the questions and all the answers. But the other thing would be, I'm not gonna bring it up because it's not feasible. Like just
those are still fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Funny. I want to hear your non-feasible idea.
Yeah, what is it?
No, I mean, being able to export to outside of Dreams, like even save a animation as a video, for example, or save a game to a web version.
As a video, you can already do that as a video. You just screen record.
That's true.
Dude, that's video and sound is already taken care of. I want to export. See, I don't like asking for things that I know would take an insane amount of work. I don't want exporting the entire game. I don't want that. I mean, of course I want it, but I don't see that happening for the next 5 years. What I want exporting assets, just like the objects. That would turn Dreams into like an actual game engine tool, like for like outside of Dream stuff.
We talk about exporting whole packages, like
I just want the object.
Game, but you want to be able to export like a sculpture?
Just a sculpt. Dude, I would stop using Blender. Well, probably. Because
I wonder if that does sound like something that's probably not feasible.
I don't know.
Man, if you could, can you imagine how many sculpting in Dreams is so fluid and easy compared to
it is.
Other methods
else
that I've never tried, but I don't really want to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would imagine like Dreams would be selling a lot of copies just for that purpose.
Just for that. Yep.
If you could make it happen.
I feel like you would need a platform just to translate all the information that's contained within the sculpture.
They need some way to turn Dreams objects into vertices or whatever. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. But it would be nice to be able to take Bernard and put him in Unity. Without
Exactly.
any-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy in Dreams to, you've got this game with a calculator, just throw a monkey in there,
Yeah.
Well, for other engines credits, you can do that as well. But the easy part is finding it, right?
No, I happen
Yeah.
to know that all other engines, it's really difficult to throw a monkey in there.
It's pretty easy, actually. Just finding the monkey is the hard part. But
Look, I'm
once
the
you have the
host,
object
Aecert.
file, yeah. Okay. Wait, hold on. But you brought us on to talk about outside engines. Wait a second.
And I have copped to having no knowledge of them.
Exactly.
All I
Laura
know.
had a good point.
Like Dreams, yeah, you can toss stuff in, but you can do that with other engines too. It's relative. I mean, it is harder, admittedly, you have to like make it in the right format and whatever. But I mean, it's just finding a good one is so much easier on Dreams.
I mean, if you had a
for the most
Bernard
part.
puppet that that had like a basic walk cycle and stuff, and you dumped it into a scene with the calculator, like would it be? I want how much like. All right, this is more like a visual question. I mean, I'm just trying to visualize like how you would manipulate a puppet, air quotes, in Unity or something. Like, is it that flexible? Can you drop a monkey into the space, slide it over where you want, twist its arm and hand up onto the calculator, and kind of just move things around that simply?
Yeah. They have assets that are similar to the puppet. Like in Unity, you can drop a third-person character or a first-person character, and would have all the properties of a puppet in Dreams, for example.
So
but
it's
the
kind of
animation
like-
part,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, the animation part would have to be done separately.
in
I haven't
Blender, right?
done-
Or in a different program, right? And then you can like import
Yeah, you can.
with
yeah.
the animation. So so there's no like are there any keyframes in Unity? Can you like do animation in Unity?
I haven't looked into it, but I don't think I've seen it before.
Because in
with what
Godot
I've-
you actually can. It's not
really?
like for like it depends. Like for simple animations, there are literally they're called keyframes and they function like Dreams. Actually, it's pretty sick. But for more complex animations, you just want to do it in like a software that's made for it, like Blender, and then import it. So Dreams does have an advantage where like you do everything in Dreams, and Dreams animation is really, really easy. It's
Yeah.
that's a whole. Oh man, what if we could export the objects with the animations? But that's again, I wouldn't even ask for that because that's probably too difficult. But,
Yeah,
what? Like, sorry.
I think we should take a short break, and when we come back, I want to hear about what other programs you've needed to use in conjunction with Godot and Unity to make a project happen. And we're back.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Okay, I can hear again.
Did you have a good break?
We
Did
are
you leave your
back.
chair?
I left momentarily. Are you talking to me?
Oh, both of you.
Both of me? Okay, both of us.
Yeah, I left my chair.
Did you go
Got
take a
some
dip
water.
back in the the lake behind you?
Oh yeah.
Is that a river?
Yeah.
Not sure. Not sure where you're at.
It's a jungle. Oh my
It was
God.
really cold in the morning, so I wanted this to make me feel warm.
Oh,
It's
that's nice.
been freezing lately. Holy shit.
Now, what
At
is
least here.
really cold for you, Danny?
Like 70 degrees in California. No, I'm kidding.
Disgusting.
I didn't check. I didn't check.
No, but like unironically, probably like 50 for you, or maybe like
Yeah,
what would
50
be
is really cold
Jesus
for me.
I was
wind chill,
expecting 50.
Yeah, with wind chill, it was below zero. Like it felt below
Oh,
zero
wow.
here.
Well, where
Wow.
are you at, Aecert?
Upstate New York.
Upstate New York. Okay.
Well, not the city. We're like mid New York, I guess. I don't know. We're on the upper Pennsylvania border. I consider it upstate, but people upper state do not. It doesn't matter. My girlfriend
Just
is
give
even,
us the
is
GPS
from-
coordinates.
I know. I'm trying to avoid that. Oh God.
And Danny, you're in California,
Yeah.
Southern California.
Yes, Southern California, near LA.
Nice.
Nice.
I feel like there's a lot of dreamers out there in California.
Yeah.
So, before the break, I wanted to get into something that comes up a lot, like talking about Dreams versus other engines, is just how wonderfully convenient it is in Dreams that you're working in your scene and you can make anything work on any part of your project without ever having to launch the music editor, the graphics editor, the whatever editor. Whereas when you're working in Unity and Godot, I assume everything is coming from outside and then it's being assembled within
Pretty much, yeah.
within that space. So can you tell me a little bit about Aecert? Can you tell me, like, working in Godot to make laser
Sure.
bounce, what other programs did you have to use?
So I had I made a list. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I guess I did forget to add ads. You needed to go to Google's website. I'm not going to count that. So there's 4 things. One is the game engine. So the other 3 are for 2D art, I use paint.net. For 3D art, I use Blender, and for sound, I used Audacity, mainly just to like convert the files. That's it. I don't know. I really like. I feel like it's a little bit overrated that like Dreams, everything's in Dreams. Like, yeah, it's nice, but really, I think it's not really a bad thing unless the program is like annoying. I don't know. It's kind of nice to have like a dedicated program because for each thing, just because like it can specialize in that thing.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like it's just dragging files around. It's not that big of a deal. Like
It sounds
really
daunting
isn't.
to me sometimes. I mean, I guess especially the process of creating 3D art.
Oh yeah,
When I
it's
read
definitely a
about
learning
other
process.
people doing that, it sounds like it's full of headaches.
Thing is, like, you had to learn it in Dreams as well. It's just the same program, but there's still that learning. I mean, it's easier in Dreams, but I mean, theoretically, you could have a program that's not Godot that is very similar to Dream sculpting. Like, what? So it's just a different program.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like a
I don't know.
hassle to you. Like it's
It really,
yeah.
the hassle is like, I don't like making sculpts. Like, it doesn't matter what program I'm in or sound stuff. Like, but I don't know. Yeah, it's not that big.
Have you made a lot of 3D? Like, what 3D did you create all the laser bounce 3D assets from scratch then?
Every single one. Yeah, I actually prefer Blender over Dreams just because like it's dragging vertices around is less stressful for me than sculpting clay. So I don't know that, and that's why I like low poly. I don't mess with. There's like tons of different modifiers and stuff in Blender. There's so much. Oh my god. I stick to what I know, and I know enough to get what I need done. So
Yeah. I mean, if you have a clear plan of what you're doing. I mean, I think sometimes like
Right.
if you don't have like a solid plan and you're kind of free associating and you're playing with things to see where you end up, I think that makes the sort of all-in-one thing more appealing.
sure.
But I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
Aecert doesn't come at something like that without a plan.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like how much planning did you do going into
For laser
that?
bounce?
Yeah.
I mean, the planning was making it in Dreams, right? And then once it's made, like I have like once it's made, you just copy it basically. I
Just
know what
translate
programs.
it. Yeah.
It would be very. I don't even want to think about like just starting in Godot without. It's just like when you're designing a game, things change all the time. So like if you make a mechanic and then scrap it, you lose. I mean, yeah, the learning on the journey, but you lose a lot of time. And it's just with Dreams,
Yeah.
like it's very easy to just like change things and fix things
Yeah.
and make things. So yeah,
Can you
I guess,
imagine? Can you imagine a future where large studios might routinely use Dreams to prototype things?
Oh, to prototype? large studios, no.
I guess I just mean, like,
absolutely not. But smaller studios, just to get like I don't know, like I don't know, because like I'm just trying to think, would it actually be quicker for them, because they have art people, they already have all the people to do things, so would it be quicker? I don't know, but for single developers, it definitely is quicker. 100%, it's quicker. No, I can't. I can't imagine that, honestly. I just can't. I don't know.
Could you imagine yourself? Like, let's say you had a game that you thought would be great on Steam or great on mobile, and you hadn't already built it in Dreams. Would you see yourself?
Doing right now. I'm doing that right now. Yeah.
Oh, really?
100%. Because from like I'd say like 50% of it is because people like watching that more than just live coding. Danny, are you 100%. also reflect what you're seeing? Because I know you stream Dreams and Unity.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when it gets to the logic of Dreams, it can get as complex as Unity. Like, so if people aren't like paying attention from the beginning, they don't know what's going on.
That is relatable.
I would still rather hang out in a stream watching someone struggle with Dreams logic than watching someone struggle with lines of code.
Right.
I mean, I'm a really visual person, so if I'm looking at your lines of code, I mean, I'm just seeing lines of code. Like it's pretty meaningless to me. But if I'm looking at what you're doing in Dreams, well, I'm trying to figure it out.
Parse it.
Yeah. Like I'm saying like, oh, can I figure out what's going on here? Like, and what the issue is we're working on, and I definitely like that.
Yeah, although I do want to note that there are some helpful people, even like in the Unity streaming category.
Oh,
like
of course.
There's someone who joined at the first time I streamed, and he was pointing me to all these tricks and
that's awesome.
Sending me YouTube videos.
He joined your stream and like in chat, or and he also streamed Unity.
No, he didn't. He was in chat, and he was just telling me in chat.
Okay, got you. Okay,
that's very Dreams.
That was nice too.
Very Dreams thing. Have you had that experience at all, Aecert, where people coming in going, "Hey, let me help you out with that"?
There were definitely not Dreams people that watched me code in Godot that were suggesting things. Yeah, definitely. It was awesome. It was cool.
Nice. That is a really neat part of working on a project on Twitch. Mm-hmm. Like we've talked about this a little. It can slow. You can go slower. It can slow you down streaming while you're trying to get stuff done. But those moments when someone comes in and drops a magic bit of info in your lap, pretty amazing.
Why are you doing this? You could just do this, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Mm-hmm. It's like crazy to think like if you weren't streaming, that person wouldn't have said that, and you would have went down this path that was just worse, and it's just weird. Like, I don't know.
It helps even getting people's opinion even on things that are not code related. Like, would this button look better this way or this way? And then having that discussion with people helps a lot.
Absolutely. Danny, can I throw you the question about what programs you've used in conjunction with Unity so far?
I've also used Audacity to import the songs and sound effects. One thing I want to bring up, another problem that you have to worry about when programming outside of Dreams is version control. The Dreams already, if you save the project, you can already...
GitHub.
You can already go back to a previous version, but with Unity, you'd have to have GitHub or Git, something to keep all the versions of the code and then all the version of the scene assets too.
Is that because the size of the project is too impractical to save multiple versions, or?
Nope.
It's not I mean, size. when you save, it saves it to your local PC, so it keeps overwriting the files over and over.
Yeah.
So that's why you need a third-party application that keeps track of what was saved at this time and what was saved at this time.
So Unity just does not do that. Does not manage any versions of the project.
No, it is identical to Dreams. Basically, GitHub is identical to what Dreams does.
Huh.
Like
Wow.
it just when you save online, you know how you can like there's a big list of all your saves, and you can go back and like
Yeah.
you can take that previous save and like overwrite it. And that, have you ever had to do that, like revert to a
Oh, yeah.
previous save?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is identical to what GitHub does. GitHub does more than that, obviously, but
Do they
yeah.
do that for free?
Oh, it's all free. Yeah.
There's a free version, yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Is there a paid version? Oh, I guess there is. I don't know.
I think for
Yeah, it's all
bigger
free.
teams, maybe
Right.
you have to get the paid version.
You have to watch
that's
an
the other thing.
advertisement, watch like 3 minutes of ads every time
No
you save a
ads.
version.
Oh God.
So I've been using this Guitar Tab app to look up songs to play for our baby, and yeah, I'm not paying for it, and so it's like watch a video like in between every other song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've used Photoshop too to get
Photoshop, nice.
the logo on the game.
So really, just some like basic sound conversion and a little Photoshop for 2D art.
Yeah, it's mainly because my game is 2D, but once I get into a 3D game, I probably gonna need to use Blender or something else.
Payoff Wizard said a few minutes back that also, Danny, I could create you a Polly Bernard. That character would be super easy to make.
Oh, okay. We'll talk.
That does mean your entire game would need to be 3D then. Well, I guess not. You would put. I mean, Unity always is 3D, right? So I guess you could just shove the asset in there. I'm not sure.
Is
what
it
would
like
look
Dreams in
though.
that sense, where like if you're doing a
It
2D
is.
game, it's actually not 2D. You're faking your 2D.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
all
it's the same.
3D. Godot actually has dedicated 2D. Like it's actually 2D.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But
Now, what are the differences between these two engines? Like, what are the strengths of Godot and Unity versus one another?
that's a good question.
I mean, yeah,
Thanks.
finding
That's a
resources
good
is better in
question.
Unity. I heard Godot is better for 2D games. But
It is. I would argue it is better for 2D. I feel like does Unity have like it has like a project hierarchy, right? Like a tree with objects.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of similar, honestly. I just feel like Godot it's not as bloated. Like I know that word has a negative connotation.
Well, what is it? What does the
So
bloat amount to?
Yeah. So everything in Godot is a node. Like everything, like to play sounds, to run
Now,
animations.
a node. That's the character from those old Domino's pizza commercials, right?
I have no idea. What is a node? It like a little object, like just an object. All right. You have a tree of objects. What is a tree? Oh my God. I'm aware no one knows what I'm talking about. Like that's, you just have like a list of objects. Okay. And each object can do different things. Some objects, it's so hard to explain this as if
Would
you
it be
don't know.
would it be similar to groups in Dreams where everything is grouped together, but like
yes,
nicely?
and yes, and like the group is a parent, and inside the group, it's a child. It's the parent's children.
Yeah.
Right? That has to make sense because we all play Dreams, so it's similar to that, right? Does Unity have that? Unity has a very similar
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah,
okay.
it's also hierarchy.
The thing with Godot is like it's almost all of it is just stored, like it's stored in these nodes. So if you don't want something, you don't have to have it. I think now, please correct me if I'm wrong. With Unity, it's like kind of like all there. It's all available at once, and you please explain.
Oh, I
Unity.
see what you mean.
I should not be the one explaining this.
Yeah, I mean everything that's in the hierarchy of Unity, it's loaded at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Like you could add more. You can create more objects, which would be equal to emitting an
I'm
object.
kind of referring to like the features of.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like, I like Godot has the same thing. Like, or you can like, you can instantiate different more nodes if you want. But I'm referring to like Unity's features.
the features. Yeah,
Like-
yeah. Everything is there. There are some things that you have to add them, like as an add-on, like
Yeah.
enable them. For example, I've been using a type of text called Text Mesh Pro, which is more recommended by Unity than the default Unity text. And
Nice.
they actually bought the third-party stuff.
There
and
you
now it's
go. They've done that a
unreleased.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So if you want to make a text that's more crisper, that's different sizes, and more font options, it's recommended to use Text Mesh Pro rather than the default text.
Was
So
that a
that's
free
something that you
add-on?
have. Yeah.
Nice.
There are certain things like
But like
certain
they're
type of
basically trying to
cameras.
keep the program a little leaner, so you don't have a bunch of stuff installed that you don't need. Is that why the
Yeah.
add-ons probably?
Yeah, it's funny that they're trying that with the text, but there are already a lot of other stuff that are there, even if you don't need them.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah. With Godot, it's all in nodes, and like you add a node, you search it, and there's like just a ton of stuff, but it's not there unless you want it, basically. But yeah, I would still recommend Unity to new people, just because of the community and the tutorials and the resources.
It's a
Not
better
that Godot
place for a
doesn't have
newcomer.
that. Yeah, it is, and not that Godot doesn't have that, and people are working on it, but at the moment, Unity is just, I mean, a magnitude of like 100. It's crazy how big the community is.
So do you
I
think
feel like even in the job market, like if you want to take that as a career, there's more Unity jobs than Godot jobs. Yeah.
There's almost no Godot jobs.
Do you think Unity is probably like the go-to for someone who got into game development through Dreams and wants to step outside of Dreams? Do you think that's probably where you'd send them?
Godot is great, but it depends on what your goal is. Like I see a lot of parallels actually from Godot and Dreams. It's pretty cool, but I mean those parallels probably exist in Unity as well. But it depends. It all depends. I don't know. Like, are you looking to find a job? Then yeah, definitely learn Unity. Yeah, if you're trying to make a portfolio, I don't know. Like, it doesn't really matter, does it? But if you know programming, it doesn't matter. You can do either. But if you're going to need tutorials and you're going to need like guidance and stuff, you're going to find a lot more people in Unity.
All right, now I have no plans to start developing outside of Dreams because yeah, I mean that would be fun, but I don't have the need or the time
or the desire
or enough interest to do that. Like there's still so much I feel like I want to do in Dreams before I feel the need to step out. But what would be your advice to me as a person who has next to zero programming experience? I mean, I'm a person who has copied and pasted JavaScript like in web settings and
did it work?
And tried some tutorials to learn JavaScript and like, but I'm starting from nothing. If I was to ask you where would you suggest I start? Just like, I mean, you probably wouldn't want to just download Unity and go for it, right? Would you suggest learning the programming first, or do you think that the coding is actually something you could learn on the fly?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I personally would look up a tutorial for like new learning programming for game devs, but specifically like there are tutorials that are tailored to people who have literally never coded that want to learn coding for game dev. And like that is what I would find for you. Of course, I learned coding first, right, without game dev at all. Like I just object-oriented programming, and then the game dev part. But if you want to like do it the quickest way, basically, not like you're not like skipping anything, but it's just like the smoothest way. You can learn. There are tutorials for programming for game dev and like learning from scratch. That is what I would recommend. I can try to find one, but maybe not right now. I really like to compliment the questions. Yeah. It is a good question. I don't know, Danny. What would you say?
It is a hard question.
First, Danny, how would you rate the question? 0 to 5 stars.
0 to 5 stars.
Yeah.
4.5.
That's pretty good. I'll take it.
But yeah, it's a hard question for I guess for both of us because we already have programming experience and we didn't have to go that path.
We both went to we both have bachelors in computer science.
I mean, there are a lot of YouTube channels that teach you like basics of programming. Um, but I feel like the person who would start with game development, they would need to learn, like Acer mentioned, like tutorials specifically for game dev. Like, because if you know how to troubleshoot an issue, how to debug the code, that might be more valuable um, than knowing all the different search methods, for example, that you can do in C sharp. So if you try to go off of learning using examples that you find online, but then you see that this part is quite not working, then knowing how to debug, add a breakpoint, and then step through, see what the value of this variable is and what this value, so you can figure things out yourself. That would be very, very valuable to know.
In Unity, yeah.
Yeah.
Falca Rich says, FYI, you can make a game in Unity without coding.
It's true.
There are
That is very
tutorials
true.
both in Unity and in YouTube.
You
Wow.
definitely can.
Really? Like
It's similar to Dreams,
complex
actually.
a game do you think I could make with tutorials? If I installed Unity tomorrow and started yeah, I'd like what could you feasibly do? Well, someone without the programming knowledge. Just
Okay.
whoever that is.
I mean, it depends on how much time you put in. Right? Like, I guess you can make anything. But how quick
without
do you
having
want
to without having to edit, like, are we talking like without ever having to fingers to keyboard, like type or edit code? Like you could,
is your question how complicated of a game you can make with the visual scripting?
yes, with no knowledge of programming.
With no knowledge. I mean, again, you'd have to learn it, but assuming you put in the time to learn it, technically you could make it as complex as a normal programming game, but it would be a lot more annoying. Like smaller games, okay, you're fine, but then the bigger it gets, kind of like Dreams, the bigger it gets, the more spaghetti, and it's
like the visual
only
coding.
it's literal spaghetti. It's
Yeah.
like visual spaghetti, and it's like, oh god. Look, I'm biased. I would stay away from it personally, but I can see I can see the benefit, the appeal of it. So if you're making small to medium sized game, go for it. Yeah. If coding, you should bite the bullet and learn coding. But if you're allergic to coding, it's not gonna stop you. That's
really cool to hear. I mean, I didn't realize that you could actually make something worth playing without an understanding of programming.
Without coding. Yeah. Well, you should still have an understanding, because there's a lot of parallels.
So there's a lot of programming concepts you might need to understand in order to pull off the visual scripting.
It's like programming with pictures, basically. It's I don't know.
How similar is it to a Dreams?
To Dreams,
setting?
it's I don't know. Is it? I was gonna say it's closer to Dreams than it is to real programming, but I'm not even sure if that's true. I don't know. It's hard to. I've never actually done it, so I'm not. I don't know if I've seen it, right, and I've read about it, but
yeah.
It also depends on what kind of assets you find and examples that you find. So if you find this character that already has everything configurable, like you just set the speed, set the jump height, set everything, like that would make it easier for you. But you still need to know coding, because if you then come across this one problem that you want to know how to do, and the examples that you have don't do that, then you'd be stuck.
Yeah.
You can't you do it with visual scripting though? Or
visual scripting?
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, but I haven't done it before, so
I haven't either, but
it's possible, but I would think it's depending on what you find.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there are some things you literally just can't do with visual scripting, but I'd say you can make most games without any coding. You probably can't purely make a multiplayer game with. Sorry, you probably can't make a multiplayer game purely with visual scripting. That's probably your limit. But
yeah,
I mean, if you're looking to make a medium to small size game and you can't code at all, and you refuse to learn programming, I don't see why not. But yeah, I'd say it's pretty close to Dreams. It's pretty close, but try it out. You should try it. You can be the test dummy. You can be the person.
I feel like I've already learned a lot today, and I am a little intrigued. Yeah, if this wasn't a particularly busy time for me.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
might be tempted, but I've got to play catch up on so much stuff before I get there. No, but this has been really, really interesting to hear. Just expand my understanding of how a game engine that's accessible to me, works these days. I want to ask Danny about the educational games you've made, right? Like I've enjoyed a handful of Danny's games at length, like Flying Fish. Mrs. Biones and I spent a lot of time with was it the original No, it was Flying Fish 2.
The second.
I gotta, I gotta be honest. I'm not a fan of Flying Fish 1. I played it. I said, okay, all right, I'm good. that's all. And then Flying Fish 2 showed up, and you could play 2-player. And Mrs. Biones and I got really competitive on that scoreboard for a while.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm seeing two different trends here in your games. I'm seeing like silly fun Flying Fish, Patient Patrol, and then I'm seeing stuff like Binary Bash and 9 Equals. That is, I don't know if 9 Equals is educational, but Binary Bash is. It taught me binary. I had no concept of how binary worked, and then I played Binary Bash. I had a ton of fun, and I understood the concept start to finish.
You still understand it.
I mean, well enough to get a couple of them off. I got really fast to where I knew what I was doing. Like I was.
But did you know what you were doing? Like, what is binary killed? I'm curious. What is it? I hope you know this. I want you to know this.
Well, I feel like I understand what it is, but I don't. But I'm going to use words that make me sound stupid to explain it. It's numbers made out of numbers, man. It's like you take a couple numbers, just 2 numbers, and then like you smash them together and you make bigger numbers with them.
Okay.
So well, let's see how smart Keld can sound. Binary is that would be the basis for all computer information, for all digital information. Sure. Yes, like it all boils down to ones and zeros.
Okay, sure. That's yeah.
And in Binary Bash, you're just
you're converting human numbers to computer numbers, right?
There you go. That sounded good.
So if anyone ever asks you, all you need to say is, so normal numbers are base 10. Binary is base 2.
Oh, there we go.
Now, even if you don't know what that means, that's all you need to say. But yeah, so basically base 10 means there's 10 numbers, right? 0, 1, 2 to 9. And then base 2, there's 2 numbers, 0, 1. So with computers, it's easier to store the 2 numbers. It's just on or off. So we're converting human numbers base 10 to computer number. I already said that, but yeah. So I mean, that's as long as you know what, like, you know how to do it, right? But if you don't know like what the heck you're even like, what even is it? It's kind of useless to learn it, right?
So now that I have this knowledge, can one of you tell me, is there practical application for you in the projects that you work on? For actually knowing,
there could be. I stay away from it, but you oh god, if you no, I don't want to talk. I don't like working with binary. It's just you technically could code in C++, in Godot at least. It's like a lower level language and literally change the bits of stuff to I don't even oh my god.
You're telling me that when you want to program something, you don't just open Notepad and start typing ones and zeros?
It's surprisingly close to that. Like, it could be. You could technically, like, literally change the memory values if you wanted to. I don't want to ever.
It didn't go from ones and zeros straight to like C#. There's a transitioning period where it started becoming more of a hexadecimal system too, where they would write with A's, B, C, D, E, F,
16,
0, 1, 2,
right?
3.
Base 16?
Base 16, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then, like, over time, it evolved. I was actually thinking about making
those hexadecimals, it's still binary, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's you just keep breaking it apart, and it all just disintegrates into ones and zeros in the end.
Yeah, it's all to simplify. Rather than
All just
typing
binary.
8 different digits, now you have only one bit. That's 0 to 16. I was actually thinking about making a hexadecimal version of binary bash, but I couldn't get the playability of it. Like if you have 0 to F, then are you gonna bump the same block from 0, 8, 1, 2, 3? Like it was hard to justify how it's gonna work.
How many blocks would you need in a hexadecimal system like that?
I mean, you could have as many blocks as you want, even in the binary.
Yeah.
You could have
Oh,
as many
that's-
as you want, but
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
I guess the
with-
problem is like the UI. The problem is the UX. Is it UI or UX? Like actually
UX.
changing,
yeah.
like
So let's
playing the
say-
game, right? Hi.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi.
Kel says hi. All right, I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah, so basically with binary right now, you have 7 blocks, or is it 8 blocks? That gives you 1 to 128. With hexadecimal, only 2 blocks would give you 64.
Whoa.
So the first block would be 0 to 16, and then the second block,
okay.
you would add a 1, becomes 17, 18, all the way to 32. Then you make it a 2, becomes 33, 34.
So
so
there
it's actually
are 8 positions per block in that? Is that correct?
it's 16 per block.
16 per
16,
block.
like, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so if you wanted, like you were saying about 0 to F, that's like 0 to
Yes.
9, and then A to F would be 16 options. So you would have to hit that block potentially 16 times.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think
That's why
I
it
think at that
wasn't-
point it does require a different input method to be fun.
Yeah. But also, like, since real-time gadget isn't here, that's why I put it aside too. Maybe when real-time gadget is here, I can
mean,
expand.
Yeah.
When,
Any type of,
when you
like,
do,
thinking
I'm
game.
ready to come back and spank that scoreboard, Danny. I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, sounds good.
I just don't
but
want
yeah,
to
the
play like a
inspiration
scrub
behind
lord. I'm sorry.
the inspiration behind making it educational though was the MM Community Jam, because I think the theme was educational games.
Oh, seriously? Nice. That's awesome.
So that's why I had to actually full-on lesson with the board that explained what binary is.
It's really
Yeah, it was-
thorough. Like, this
Right,
is,
right.
Look, I like every once in a while I like to brag that I was when I played Binary Bash, I was like, Danny, this could be an impy game. This could be I think I said like bare minimum this has got to be an MM pick. Like it's
It is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
yeah, it got the
Yeah.
MM pick.
I think I just got lucky with the hidden gem category, that it's like
With
the
the what
types of
game
games
category?
hidden gem. It won
Hidden gem. Got you.
So the types of games that could be nominated to hidden gem, it's like what defines a hidden gem. Like, it didn't get an MM pick.
Is
or
that
does
what it
have
got
few
MMP'd
likes?
for? Or
Yeah.
is that what it
Yeah.
got imped for or whatever? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
you know
maybe
what?
it had like small likes, number of likes for what
Right.
it was. Yeah. But hey, it works. Yeah.
There was no like educational category, right?
No, that would be fun though.
That would be.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that would be a really neat category to see. I think there's a fair amount of good stuff. And Binary Bash, if it hadn't been in the hidden gem category, it's kind of hard to find a category for it. Like, I mean, would you take this for best gameplay over, a bunch of other Dreams things with this intricate gameplay, or probably not? But
Right.
but yeah, it kind of sits in its own little space. I don't know. It's been one of my favorites in Dreams. Like,
I'm glad you liked it.
there's only so many games that I've like latched onto and like played obsessively, because it's a never-ending buffet. But
Yeah. I feel like not everyone would like it. Like, there's a lot of times where I see someone streaming Dreams and they're looking for a recommendation. I'm like, do I want to tell them about Binary Bash? Like,
I hear that.
yeah,
it's late at night. Do they like math?
Yeah.
well, and you know what? I didn't like playing it on stream when I started playing it. I did not
Right,
want to
you
like
felt like an
learn
idiot.
to get good
Yeah,
at
I
this
hear
on stream. But then once once people started, pointing fingers at me for the score and suggesting that I was, playing like Joe Ryan. Then I started playing on stream just to demonstrate that I did have the skills to pay the bills.
That's awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, so the educational jam turned out to be a really nice thing. Is that something you do you have any other ideas you'd like to do in the future? That anything you'd like to teach people, or?
I mean, yeah. Other than the hex one, I don't have anything at the point, but
You can go the other
definitely
way,
in the future.
right? You give them a binary number and make them
Oh yeah,
type
that's
in
true.
a normal number.
Oh,
That's true.
Um,
That I would still
make
have
it
to
like
figure out
a-
the system, the input system.
Make it like a field or like a dance floor of numbers, and you have to jump on the number. That'll be frustrating, right?
That works too. Yeah.
I feel like Binary
'Cause, like,
Bash has just enough mechanical
Yeah,
difficulty,
no,
just enough. You
like,
you can
distract you from the
miss the
binary.
jump and hit the wrong box and go, damn it.
Yeah.
But it's not super difficult,
Yeah. I mean, it could be the same concept of learning binary, but different type of game style. Like one thing I can think of is if I have a set of numbers where you only need to change one block to make it right, like change only one bit, then you can have something like a sliding puppet. It's sliding on a branch or something, and then you keep getting encountered with the different problems. Like 7, it's 111, but you only have 110. So while you're seeing the 7 coming and you're sliding, you need to jump on the right bit to turn it on.
It's a timing
Ooh.
thing.
I mean, you're controlling the puppet, but you have to
Right.
touch. Yeah,
That sounds fun.
Joe Ryan can still pause on that game. But
All right, well, screw that game. I don't want anything to do with it. There's not a lot of games like where, I mean, it's the fact that we
Teaches you
can't detect
something,
like when a player pauses. That would be a really useful thing. But there's not a lot of games that it really
Matters. Yeah,
it makes a
no,
big
you're
difference.
right.
But I mean, this game is
True.
about the work you're doing in your head and the time that it
Right.
takes
Right.
to do that work.
yeah, and that's also why I made 9 equals to have nothing to do with time. You can just chill for hours, and then the longer you survive, the more points you have. But if we have a real-time gadget, I could make a timed version of it. You have 1 minute, throw in as much numbers as you want, and make the
Right.
high score.
Nice.
But the way it's set up, I don't know. Even if you pause, like you only see 3 numbers ahead. So
You have to
It's
work
not
pretty
like-
hard.
Oh, the
I mean,
other
you
one?
have to like take a picture of the screen and then pause it and then like
but would
sit
it
there
even
and stare
help
at
that
that.
much?
Or
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. It's hard to plan. If you saw like 20
if it's-
numbers
if
ahead,
it's not a
then you
timed-
could plan. But
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think if it was
Kel,
a
do you-
timed game, you'd still
yeah.
have it'd still be very advantageous to play it that way.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could take infinite time to think about the best placement, but that's a good point.
Especially
What
if you have
I'm
like
try-
enemies while sliding. You have
Enemies?
enemies. You're thinking about avoiding the enemies and
Like,
hitting the wrong.
Calculator in one hand, sword in the other hand. Oh my god, that would actually be hilarious. Holy shit! But I'm trying to think like, what things could you teach people that like binary is cool. Binary is, but like, so what are some other things that are like actually useful?
Yeah.
Not that binary isn't, but like what I always struggled with like vector math and angle stuff. I don't know. I know that's very vague, but maybe you can make a game that helps with that kind of thing. Like the unit circle and shit like, oh my god. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Pierogi Boy
Yeah.
had a unit circle.
Oh,
game
does
that
he?
was
Okay, well.
It's pretty educational. It's like it gives you the angle like in radians too, like pi over 2. Then you're supposed to move the analog stick to say where that
Where that is.
angle
That's cool.
is.
That's cool.
Oh, so it's
It had
I
a high
played
score.
that one.
Like
That
what are
was
some
pretty
other
cool.
things? I don't know. But,
One
like, to teach
my
people.
my first attempt at ever a Dreams game. I wanted to remake something similar to our senior design project with the robot hands and the terminal, but like teaching programming concepts. Like I started making 2 levels of it.
That's
But
sick. Teaching programming concept. Yeah.
the funny thing is, like, I didn't know, like, when I just got Dreams, I didn't know about like the copyrighted stuff, or like you're not supposed to use any So my main character was Cookie Monster.
Oh no!
Cookie Monster.
That's why you haven't seen this game yet.
Of all the possibilities I ran through in my head,
Yeah,
Cookie Monster was not on that list.
what IP? Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, so many Sesame Street memes. Just all over the Dreamiverse. It's lousy with them.
I know.
You can't.
It's
Yeah.
In our senior design project, we had no regard to copyright. Like, we had the level where you fall into lava, and then we're straight up playing a Terminator video, like the video as it is of the Terminator giving the thumbs up.
Nice.
So it had a lot of like comedy aspect to it, and that's why it actually a lot of people liked it. Like, we even showed it in our senior design showcase where everyone's showing like their projects to a panel.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're showing them the stuff with the Terminator, and they didn't say anything. They loved it, and we actually won Best Project of the Year for that game. That we were messing
awesome.
around throughout the whole game. Like,
Nice.
we're having fun, and turned out to be good.
Well, I mean,
We had
everyone
the-
else wasn't making games. They weren't making games. They were just making boring ass
true.
projects, right? So,
Yeah,
and you come out with this like comedy game. That's funny. That's a
At the
good idea,
last-
though. Teaching programming concepts. That's a really good idea.
yeah,
Because like no one in Dreams even knows how to program. Like,
yeah. It's hard to know though. Like, where do you start? Like, we have to teach basic things like an if statement
Yeah.
or a
you
for.
could do that with
loop.
like blocks. Just like
yeah,
I don't know if you played Project Spark, but
no,
I don't know. They just had like a line of blocks that kind of ran in sequence. Maybe your character, you can just place blocks that'll write the program or something. I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
good idea though.
I would play that game.
yeah.
Yeah, I know you would, and you'd actually learn, and you'd learn
Yeah.
something useful instead of binary. No offense. Please don't take that the
Oh
wrong
man,
way.
Aecert,
but-
I've been under the impression this whole time that maybe it's not useful to me, but it would be useful in some context. Like, yeah, someday I'm going to be on a desert island, just like Bernard here, and yeah, I don't know, binary is going to get me off. It's gonna...
Yeah. So the game would
Maybe.
actually the basics of programming, learning it in Dreams in order to get started into Unity. that would be
Hey.
a good
It would be cool.
good educational game.
Yeah, no, I would definitely enjoy playing a game that taught me programming concepts. I would
Yeah, you
100%.
would never be typing, but yeah.
Yeah, because we don't have strings.
Right.
I wonder if there's got to be some like good versions of that out on Steam or somewhere.
Oh, I'm
right?
sure.
Like,
Oh,
that
yeah,
already
yeah, yeah,
exist.
yeah.
Like some nice gamified learn programming experience.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're getting close to the end of our time here. So I'm going to throw it to our guests and ask if there's
Please.
any topics, dreams adjacent that you want to touch on before we wrap things up.
By all
Anything?
means, let's hear it.
Yeah. Or if anyone in chat has any questions or any topics that you'd like us to hit up.
I did want to start getting into VR development at some point. I
Ooh.
bought an Oculus, and it sounds intriguing too.
VR
Because you can do it
dev,
in Unity,
yeah.
too. And we're all gonna be part of the metaverse at some point, so might as well get in early.
No, you're not wrong. Can that run the Facebook metaverse shit, or is that even out yet? I don't know. I know
They're working
Facebook
on
is
it.
trying to. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Danny.
But they're
when are
gonna have
we-
a way to monetize like all game dev created concepts. So
When
it's
are we
good to
going
learn
to
early.
see? When are we going to see the line of Bernard NFTs? That's what everyone wants to know.
Oh God, I've been asked about that multiple times.
Wait, like actually? Oh,
Then I
no.
apologize.
No, it's not. It's a public statement. There will not be Bernard NFT.
You heard it.
That you know of, yeah.
Until someone else decides to make them. I'm already working on them. No.
I feel for some reason 90% of the NFTs I found were monkeys.
Bernard would fit right in.
That's
Bernard would fit
true.
right in. No, but I like Bernard. I could just put Bernard in Dreams. I could just put Bernard in a collection. No, I own Bernard now. That's good.
True.
Yeah. I have an ownership stake in Bernard.
Yep.
Yeah.
So have you?
You can't remix Bernard.
Have you played around with Dreams VR? Do you have a PSVR, or is the Oculus your first VR headset?
I did try to make the original Flying Fish 1 VR compatible.
How'd that go?
It was interesting. It was compatible for a while until someone told me it's not working anymore.
Oh, it
I
just
don't know
broke?
what happened.
An update just broke it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Oh,
But yeah, for some reason, I blame the PSVR, not Dreams. Like putting on the PSVR is such a hassle. Setting it up with all the cables.
Oh,
It-
yeah. Yeah.
is the
It's still cool.
is the
but I
Oculus
hear you.
less cumbersome?
Yeah, the Oculus has no cables. It's
No
only
cables,
two.
huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
two controllers and then the headset.
How long does the charge last?
Yeah.
2 hours.
I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
play VR for more than 2 hours. So
Yeah. I mean, for VR, like I don't usually I hit about 2 hours and go, okay,
yeah,
I'm exhausted. Like,
my eyes hurt. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you can still plug it into a charger, like if you want to last longer, but you don't need to. Like if you're playing a workout game, for example, you don't need the cables.
Have we heard
That's awesome.
the PSVR 2 is going to be wired, isn't it? Do we know that
One
already?
cable. One cable.
said one
as
cable,
far as
yeah.
I understand.
I mean, that's 50% less cables. So I'll take it.
And I don't know. Damon just said like he has it set up so he can just hop in and out. And yeah, you definitely can. It's just I don't know. It's like heavy and it just kind of doesn't feel great. I know that's like such a petty complaint. Like,
Have you used other VR equipment?
no,
that
I have
you...
not. I
Yeah.
have not. But
It's
I don't know.
inconvenient, and I don't use it that often. But when I do, I really do. I feel like the benefits outweigh the downsides.
the negatives.
For me.
Yeah, I agree. It's awesome.
That's
It's
the only
just-
headset I've ever owned. Is the
Right, same.
PSVR. But
Do not
but I mean, I really do feel like it provides an experience that that is very unique and worth
Of course.
worth
Oh
the
my God.
bother at the moment. And I really do look forward to. I mean, like I want to see some like weird VR chat stuff happening when Dreams gets multiplayer. You know,
Dude, that's
like,
gonna be so amazing.
I
Oh
want
my
to see what
God.
happens when you get, this community, like this is a beautiful community to interact with on Twitch and in Discords and on Twitter. And, but I want to see what happens when this community can come together on the platform itself. Like
in
Yeah.
VR, like
in
it's
VR.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Like having a hub, and then you can be.
gonna be
I can be
awesome.
Bernard. I look like Bernard, and then everyone. Joe comes in as the bold wizard. You're just talking to everyone with their
You-
own puppet.
That would be so cool. Oh
I
my
guess
God.
since I've already got a Keld puppet, I'm just going to be myself.
Hey,
Oh. Who are
Yeah,
you going to
that
be,
was super-
Aecert?
a robot.
There's-
I don't know.
There is an Aecert puppet.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, yeah. Pretty good one. Pretty good one.
I kind of want to. I feel like I could sculpt myself pretty well. I
Low
don't know.
poly Aecert.
I have a pretty good reference.
You have the best reference possible.
The reference.
Very accessible.
Yes.
Oh, so is there's just a giant mirror next to you and you'll just be
How would I do that? I would probably take like really good, just like side pictures and front picture, and then just have them on my second monitor.
I
And
mean
then
that's
just-
how
I don't
Pixel
know.
Tuner made the Dreams ones, right? Did you send him pictures for
Probably.
that?
No,
Oh, you didn't.
no, I didn't. So he got them from the stream, I believe.
Okay.
But-
I think the first Keld puppet he made for me, I didn't actually send him pictures. I just got close to the stream camera and gave
There you
him a
go.
profile and yeah. Do neck exercises, Aecert, says Notre
Yeah,
Dame.
that'll solve the entire issue with PSVR. neck exercises.
Oh. Well, I suppose I should let these dreamers go. And did you either of you have any closing thoughts? Aecert, do you have any closing thoughts to share?
When you brought up VR development, I think that is very interesting. There are a lot of job opportunities. Maybe like not even job, like starting a company for it. Like there are so many applications, not in gaming, just in general for VR development.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I think I should try that out. I don't know, Danny, how far have you gotten? Have you done literally anything with it? I don't know. Like
No, I got
no,
far as looking into what do I
looking
need to
into it.
download
All right.
for Unity and
I mean,
plugging
you're
in the
still
cable.
farther than me. You have a headset, so yeah, that's cool though.
I looked into classes actually. There was a VR class that teaches you VR programming, but
Yeah, nice.
yeah, but it looked like it was too much commitment.
Yeah,
Maybe when I have more time.
sounds cool though. That's something I might consider. I don't know. Do you have any closing statements, thoughts?
Closing statements. Oh, one thing I didn't bring up yet is also like publishing your game is a hassle. Like that's.
We
I
didn't
mean,
even
maybe
talk about that.
That's a whole thing I didn't even think
uh,
about. Yeah.
Basically, I mean, my own main problem right now is to publish the game on Android. You can either publish it under your own name or you can create an LLC. So you can put it under an LLC name. But creating an LLC is a big hassle, especially in the state of California. Like there's a lot of taxes associated with it, and that's not something I'm looking forward to. But
Yeah, I can tell you, I don't believe you need anything like that. You don't need anything like that. It would technically be better, I guess, but as long as you have, I think it's like $50 for a Google thing, or maybe it's 100, but you pay like a one-time fee, and then you have an account and you can publish as much as you want. iOS, I don't. Someone actually, Danny, someone asked you if you're gonna publish it to iOS.
yeah,
I don't.
trouble.
Are you? I don't know.
I'm looking forward to, but
Yeah. Do you have a Mac?
My sister does.
Your sister does? Nice. And then I think you have to like pay $100 a year or something. It's so
You
something
have
like that.
to have a Mac in order
have
to
have a Mac,
publish something on iOS.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. But like publishing is there. You have to get a lot of information. You have to have a lot of pictures, a lot of like just stuff. It's just
Tutorials.
it's like. Have you ever done your taxes? I know you have.
Nope. Not once.
Wait, really?
No.
Well, no, you can pay
every year,
to.
sometimes twice.
Well, no. You can pay someone to. So I'm saying, like, have you done your? I assume you have done your own. It's like that, but it's like times 10 more annoying. And pictures. You need pictures.
No one gets into game dev so they can form an LLC and fill out more paperwork and then
Steam is even more annoying. Like Steam is like more annoying. It's like not 2 times, but it's like 50% more annoying than the Google Play Store. But yeah.
But
so
as
have
far
fun
as
with
closing,
that. Have fun with that. You will, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you plan on Steam release or just mobile? I mean, it's 100, but honestly, don't buy. I mean,
I do plan on Steam release.
You do
too,
plan on
Steam release? One step at a time, though. At first Android, then
you could just
iPhone.
do itch for itch.io. Like I personally did the Steam release because I wanted to go through the entire process just to like see what it would take, so that when I did like Laserbounce is a real game, but I did not make it for Steam. It's honestly just a mobile game on Steam. Like let's be honest. But I could make it into a Steam game. Like I could add a level editor. I could add a lot. I'm not going to, but I just did it to go through the entire process. But if you're, I don't know, I would almost just recommend if you just want to get it on the PC, just upload it to itch.io. And for those of you who don't know what itch.io is, it's like a website. It's like Steam, but it's like you just upload your games there.
It's like a website.
Yeah.
It's like Steam. It is a website. How would I describe itch.io?
You go there and you get games.
Yeah. Well, from a developer's perspective,
you go there and you dump your games on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Actually.
Yeah. I mean, the cool thing is I don't have to commit to one platform. I can always do all whenever I have time.
With Unity, you can export it to anything.
Yeah.
Godot's the same way. It's pretty cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. As far as closing thoughts, like dreams helped me a lot with my game dev experience. Like I had it on hold when I was just busy with my 9 to 5 job. But now that I have dreams, it's opened a lot of opportunities. I'm thankful for that. And I've been lucky to also be able to have the knowledge and the programming background to easily move forward to Unity experience. But I definitely encourage people to try to learn if they do want to develop outside of Dreams. And there's a ton of resources and tutorial that could help them.
There's definitely there's a steep learning curve, but once you get over that programming hump, it's pretty fun. You're never going to know everything, but you just need to know what to search. That's
Yes.
Once you get to that point, it's as
Exactly.
easy as Dreams.
You need to know what you don't know so you can find it.
Yeah, you need to know how to search something. How to make how to make a player jump is not what you search. You try to make your player jump and then search your specific issue. So I don't know. Man. And you have that issue in Dreams. People are they ask these questions that are
like you need to know the right question to ask, and sometimes that's the hard part.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But,
well, would you Can I? Would you like to plug anything? Where would you like to send people? If they heard this and they said, "I want more Aecert," I mean, I don't know why, but I want more Danny. Where can they go?
Aecert on Twitch, Aecert on YouTube. I post videos and I stream game dev stuff.
I've also been streaming on Twitch. I don't stream as often. Like usually Wednesdays I do more game playing, and Sundays I do game dev.
Cool.
What's your Twitch handle, Danny?
danikaka 0092.
I forgot the numbers.
There we go. There's someone who.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, there's a kid who streams Fortnite that took danikaka. That's why I had the numbers.
Well, let's hunt that person down and harass them mercilessly. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
And also, if you want to try 9 equals, like the prototype of it, you can go to 9equals.com and check it out.
Yep. And then if you want to play Laser Bounce, my first game, it's on the Google Play Store. You search Laser Bounce, and it's on Steam. You search Laser Bounce. So it's a puzzle game.
Try it out. Easy.
For free on Google Play Store, for $2 on Steam.
A bar.
Highly recommend it.
It's a fun game.
Highly recommend the Steam version. The Steam version is so much better. It's the exact same thing, but I make $2, so.
I played the Dreams version, and I also recommend Laser Bounce.
Oh yeah, you can play it on Dreams too, but not sarcastic. The Dreams version is worse than the outside Dreams version. Like the game is just better outside of Dreams. There's a lot more stuff. But
well,
all right.
It's been a lovely time talking to both of you today. It's been a wonderful chat. If you want to help out the podcast, you want to do anything for me, you could go over to YouTube and subscribe there. You can just thumbs up things. You can come to my house and give me a pat on the back. Don't do that. I don't want you here. Yeah, that's that's about it. And until next time.
Cheer 100 bits. There you go.
You can cheer 100 bits? Aecert, thank you for the 100 bits.
And Kiff.
Thank you for the bits, Kiff and Magma Monster before that. Thank you for the bits, Magma Monster. Much appreciated.
Danny, hell yeah. We're paying Kel, to be honest.
You did.
Keep dreaming, everybody. Keep dreaming. All right.
Dreaming or else.
Bye-bye.
That was fun.